On November 21st, 2024, the International Criminal Court issued warrants for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and former Defense Minister Yoav Gallant for crimes in Gaza, including starvation of civilians, intentional attacks against civilian populations, murder, and persecution. But they have not acted alone. Dawn is urging the ICC to investigate former U.S. President Joe Biden, former Secretary of State Antony Blinken, former Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin, and other former officials for their complicity in facilitating Israeli war crimes and crimes against humanity in Gaza.
More than 45,000 people have now been killed in Gaza since the October 7th Hamas attack.
The UN Human Rights Office in Geneva said nearly 70% of those killed in Gaza that they were able to independently verify were women and children.
Joe Biden, Antony Blinken, and Lloyd Austin are complicit in Israel's crimes. The bombs Israel has used to destroy hospitals, schools, and homes are American bombs that they authorized. Israel has been carrying out its campaign of persecution and murder with political support that they ensured. These officials were aware of the crimes that Israel was committing, and yet they ensured that American political support kept coming.
The international community founded the ICC to hold accountable individuals responsible for the gravest crimes like genocide, war crimes, and crimes against humanity, where national governments refuse or fail to prosecute them. Today, 125 states have joined as members of the court. On January 24th, 2025, Dawn submitted an Article 15 communication to the ICC detailing the evidence about how these officials violated the Rome Statute's prohibition on aiding and abetting the crimes committed by Israeli forces since the start of the war in Gaza in October 2023. Dawn's submission argues that Biden, Blinken, and Austin are complicit in Israeli crimes in Gaza, including forced displacement and genocide. From October 7, 2023, until they left office, these U.S. officials approved significant weapons shipments to Israel while being fully aware of how they would facilitate these crimes.
The ICC should indict these American officials and issue arrest warrants against them for knowingly aiding and abetting Israel to cause unspeakable harm, including the worst crimes against humanity, against Palestinians, providing Israel with military support to carry out their atrocities, and political protection to ensure that they are able to continue their atrocities.
The Biden administration has notified Congress it plans to sell $8 billion in arms to Israel.
These U.S. officials provided Israel with military, diplomatic, and political support, vetoing multiple ceasefire resolutions to block the international community from stopping Israel's atrocities.
Those against?
It was the third such veto since the start of the Israel-Hamas war.
And these officials have given public support to justify Israeli crimes.
American officials are still helping Israelis commit their ongoing crimes against Palestinians, including a genocide taking place before the eyes of the whole world. By investigating these American officials, the ICC prosecutor can hopefully deter and discourage further American support for Israel's crimes in Gaza.
Soon after taking office, President Trump issued an executive order imposing sanctions on the ICC prosecutor. President Trump is not just obstructing justice. He is practically trying to burn down the courthouse to prevent holding Israeli criminals accountable. On top of that, he's been talking about taking over Gaza and owning it. All of these actions expose him and other officials in his administration to criminal liability at the ICC for both obstruction of justice and committing war crimes, even if the United States is not a signatory to this treaty.
The International Criminal Court has jurisdiction over crimes committed in Palestine, which is an ICC party, regardless of the nationality of the perpetrators or whether or not their country of citizenship is party to the Rome Statute. This includes jurisdiction over U.S. officials who have aided, abetted, and facilitated Israeli crimes in Palestine pursuant to Article 25 of the Rome Statute.
When U.S. institutions fail to uphold domestic and international law prohibiting military aid to abusive regimes, we have a responsibility to seek justice through international venues. The ICC offers a vital path forward for ending these crimes and for getting justice.
As an American organization, we need the International Criminal Court to help us stop our own government officials from supporting Israel's crimes and to hold them accountable for the horrible harms, the horrible crimes that they have aided and abetted.